And we're on! Woo! Join me as I take you on a tour of the stunning NCL Encore cruise ship. We sailed her just after a dry dock in January of 2025. The NCL Encore is a gorgeous ship offering an unforgettable experience that appeals to both new and seasoned travelers alike. Whether you're a first timer or a seasoned cruiser, this ship has something for everyone, and I'm excited to share it all with you. Be sure to stick around until the end where I dive into our favorite spot on the ship. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow along so you don't miss out on any future content. I know what you might be thinking. Cruises are boring. There's nothing to do, and you'll be stuck on the ship with a bunch of people. But let me tell you, those are just common misconceptions. The NCL Encore is a game changer, and it's going to blow all of those preconceived notions out of the water. For starters, this ship is a city at sea, with a plethora of activities and entertainment options that'll keep you engaged and excited throughout your trip. This restaurant here is Q Texas Smokehouse. At the time of our sailing, if you did not have the dining package, it was a $40 cover charge per person, and it had barbecue food. Now, being from the Midwest, this was not something that we were really interested in trying out. So we did go there one night and listen to the band, which was a lot of fun. And they have a bar that you can go and have a drink without having the dining package or having dinner there. The casino here was quite large, and you walked through there to the local, which was open 24/7. It had some pretty decent food options throughout the day. They served breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night snacks as well. Now, all food at the local is complimentary, and just a tip here, the bar is open seating, but if you are looking to have food while at the local, you will want to check in with the host or hostess to they just ask for your cabin number, and I think it's more just to make sure that they have a server that knows you are sitting down and wanting to eat. The local is located on deck 7, and it has a great open space area to look down on deck 6 at the atrium area. They do a lot of live bands there at night, and they host random games and trivia throughout the day. So it's fun to people watch. You can not really participate, but you can see everything that's going on in the atrium area from up above. Now, if you pass through the local and keep walking through the elevator bays, you will come to the theater that is on the Encore, and they host different acts and entertainment throughout the week there. We were on board when Choir of Man was one of the main theater shows. It is a complimentary show, however, you do have to book a reservation beforehand, and I highly recommend if you see Choir of Man on the itinerary of things to do to make sure and check it out. On our 7-night sailing, they did do 2 separate shows on 2 separate nights, so you had 4 opportunities to see this show. Other than that show in the lounge, they did rotate various acts and games throughout the week. But definitely, if you see Choir of Man on the list, make sure that you check them out. Now, the theater is very forward on deck 7, and far aft on deck 7, you are going to find the Manhattan Room, which is one of their main dining rooms. There are 3 main dining rooms on this ship, and the Manhattan Room is the largest of the 3. Now, coming up here on your left-hand side, you're going to have the Skyline Bar, which is the bar that is in the casino. And then to the right here, you'll see the enclosed area. That is the smoking section of the casino. So all of the casino is non-smoking except for this closed off room in the center. We thought that was a really nice touch because we did the Epic back in November, and at that time, I don't know if it's ever going to be on the radar to close off, but when we sailed in November of 24, it was smoking throughout, and you could definitely smell the smoke quite strong. Now jumping down to deck 6 aft, so all the way at the back of the ship, you have Mix Bar, and that is centrally located between the two other restaurants, Savor and Taste. Those are the other two dining room options. All three have the same menu throughout. And then if you keep walking through, you will see the art gallery. Now at the end of the art gallery, towards the right, you will see teppanyaki, which is a specialty dining option. And then to the left is going to be the social, which is their nightclub. And then they host things like comedy shows and stuff like that there as well. And then down that hallway, side tip, is a restroom. Now this box over here to the left was actually a little pharmacy box. I didn't actually look at it, but I think you could order things like Tylenol and like Dayquil from there. And then if you keep walking through, this is the main atrium area. There's a bar, there's guest services. This is where you can book your future cruises. Those little touch screens there are very interactive. You can get your tender tickets there. You can book your theater shows if you're going to watch a show like Choir of Man that requires a reservation. Like I said here, that is the bar area. They did a lot of entertainment activities down here where you see that big screen with the waterfall. They had live bands and all sorts of entertainment throughout the day and night there. And like I said, guest services is down here. You can check your onboard accounts there. You can check out shore excursions. And then here is another view of the theater. And as you exit the theater, this is the other side of the local, which has arcade games. Now, these are for purchase, so if you do want to play these, you will need to pay for each game. And then this will kind of just take you around the other way of the local, so you'll get another view of how open it is to down below. If you're still here watching this video, I hope you're finding it helpful in some way, shape, or form. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comment section below and hit that subscribe button so that you can follow along as I have future content to share. Now this is going to give you a better view of exactly how large this casino is. And it's also very, very open, and you can see decks above and decks below. To me, I think that it's a really nice setup. Now again, coming up here on the left is going to be the smoking section of the casino. And then to the right is going to be where that bar area is. So as you can tell, the casino actually does go quite a ways. So plenty of slots to sit at and table games to win at. Or if you were like me this cruise, I was a donator to the casino. However, Corey had some luck, so it all washed out in the end. All right, for a change of scenery, let's go outside for a bit. This is the walking track that is sandwiched between a ton of lounge chairs. So it was kind of interesting to see if people were wanting to use the walking track while it was, say, a sea day and completely packed. Now, jumping up to deck 18 aft, this is Spice H2O. This is an adults only area that has two hot tubs and a wading pool or lap pool. I don't know exactly how you want to call it, but at the time of our sailing, this had only been open for a few cruises. And as you can see here, the hot tub actually had water in it for the first time, but no one was in it the entire time. It was never open. And this little pool area, our entire cruise had no water. So I think that they're still kind of working out the logistics of the water part of the Spice H2O. But I do know this used to be a laser tag area, so it was kind of nice to have an adults only area to go to and kind of just relax rather than what it was before, which was laser tag. Now, leaving Spice H2O, you will next come to the Encore Speedway. This is a go-kart track at sea, and this is something that you will need to pay for. I think you can buy a pass for a week, or you can pay per ride. Now, jumping back down to deck 17, this is going to be far aft as well. So, the very back of the ship, you will see the Galaxy Pavilion, and this is a huge area that has a ton of VR games. Again, I believe you can buy a pass for the week or you can purchase per ride to experience these different VR games. Again, this place was absolutely huge. We never really saw a lot of people in here, but this isn't also really what we do when we go on cruises, so I can't speak to different, times of the day, sea day or port day if it was busy or not. But when I was in here, I never really saw a lot of people. Now, exiting the Galaxy Pavilion just to the left is going to be Le Bistro French restaurant. That's another specialty restaurant that you have to pay for. And I was kind of surprised to see the entire time we were on this cruise, it was completely closed for a private party. So our sailing had about a group of like 160 people that were all in the Haven area, and those 160 people literally like bought out Le Bistro for the entire cruise so that their party could have a private dining experience. So if you're on this sold out sailing and you wanted to try the Italian, too bad, so sad. Just like we couldn't go there, neither could you unless you were part of that private party. Now, opposite of Le Bistro was the American Diner. And the American Diner was an outside venue. I believe it used to be a for purchase restaurant. However, it is now complimentary. I think they have shakes that you can purchase, but other than that, all of the food was covered. So we had burgers. I think that there was like a chicken salad sandwich that Corey had that was really good. They had a smoked fish dip that I really liked. They're only open certain hours of the day. I think it's basically lunchtime, so make sure to check out the daily planner. But if you ever get an afternoon and have the opportunity, I highly recommend hopping over there for a meal. This ship had a few different water slide options. Some of them were ones that you would go down with a tube, and this one over here that I am about to show that Corey and I actually did on a port day was one where you basically stood like up in a tube, and then the ground below you kind of just dropped out, and then you fell down and fell straight through and did the slide. It was a lot of fun, but I just will forewarn you that if you are doing that one, make sure that you have your bathing suit on, and that is it. You can't have a watch, you can't have a bobby pin, you can't have earrings, nothing, not a ring, bathing suit, and you're a go. Now, apologies for the ground shot here, but there were quite a few people up here, and I didn't want to get everyone's faces in. So you can just see here, this is more of the jogging track slash sun deck where you have all of the loungers. And this is one level up above where the main pool is. And then up there, you'll see there's a little sneak peek of the outside Haven dining area right there. Now, if you make your way up to deck 18 right here up these stairs, you'll see there's a little sun deck. And then if you continue going up the stairs, you will make your way up to deck 19. This is as forward as you can get on deck 19 unless you have the Vibe Beach Club access or Haven access. So the Haven is of course exclusive to those that have Haven cabins. Vibe is something separate that you do have to purchase, I believe, for our cruise. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was $200 per person. If for a 7-day sailing, and again, I'm 90% sure that's accurate. We booked this cruise super last minute, so the Vibe was already sold out when we booked. We were unable to get the private access there. But if you did get that, it was just a more secluded area that had a bar area, and I think that there were even some hot tubs up there as well. This is open to the public, and it was a less busy, chaotic scene than down at the main pool area. And as you see here, as I turn the corner, you can still see all the live action that's going on down at the pool. You're just not in all of the action with all the big crowd. All right, deck 16, you have the Garden Cafe, and that's going to be forward on the ship. And it was a pleasant surprise. Corey and I are not normally big buffet people. When we go on cruises, we find it to just be like overcrowded all the time and not really good food. That was the exact opposite experience we had on this cruise. The food was always very fresh and hot and widely available. And while this was a completely sold out cruise, we always found plenty of seating available. So I definitely recommend, if you're like us and normally steer away from the buffet, give it a shot and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. A tip I have for you is to go all the way through the entire buffet to the very forward of the ship. That's where we're at right now. And there are always lots of open tables and seating, great views. So just, again, walk through the entire buffet and just keep heading all the way forward, and you'll find extra seating. And there are restrooms over there. There's a little hidden ice cream, the little soft serve. So there's a little tip for you there. Now, as you exit the buffet, you will walk straight into the pool area. If you go through either of the doors on the sides of the ship, or if you walk through the center elevator bays, straight ahead is going to be the pool area. Now, directly below the buffet, you will find the observation lounge. And this was a sea day. I never saw so many people in here as I did this day. So it was completely packed, like uncomfortably packed. The other days we were in here, it never felt this crowded, but this will just give you a view of what happens if it is completely crowded. Just know that during different times of the day, you will find more or less people here. They do serve food throughout the day. Just make sure to check the daily planner because it is not available all day. But I know you can go up there like around breakfast time, and then they also do like afternoon snacks as well. The observation lounge is very forward on the ship, so it has beautiful views of the exterior area wherever it is that you're sailing, or if it's a port day. Beautiful views. I know in Alaska this has got to be a very, very packed site to go through and see stuff like the glaciers. Now, our cabin was on deck 14. We were cabin number 14052. If you do want to see a tour of our cabin, go ahead and stick around to the end. I will leave a link to a video of our cabin tour there. We did have a balcony cabin, and it was fantastic. You'll see here 14, 13, 12, I think maybe even 11, 10, and 9 are pretty much all cabins. So not really much to do on the touring side of things. All right, now I am going to take you on a tour of the waterfront. This is on deck 8, and it's a really neat feature on this ship. It allows you to walk around outside, I would say 3/4 of the way around the ship. So it starts, I mean, anywhere you want to, but if you want to start at the district, that's as far forward as you can go on the port side. Or if you want to start on at Food Republic, that's as far forward as you can go on the starboard side. And you can take the loop all the way around. There are outdoor chairs and seating and loungers. People are out there reading, playing games, just watching the views. There are a few outside dining areas that are part of the interior restaurants as well. For example, Cagney's has an outside seating area. Palomar has an outside seating area. You'll see all the outside areas as I go through there. You'll see there is a smoking lounge. It's a really, really neat feature on this ship, and I never really found it to be too crowded. So if you are wanting to get views of, maybe you're having a sail away or something like that, I recommend maybe going out to this deck to see if you can't find a spot with less of a crowd. And they also have these really cool binocular type stands throughout as well. We did use those a few times, so that was kind of fun. We saw some beautiful sunsets out here, and it was just a nice change of pace. Obviously, the sun deck's up above where the pools are and all that. You have the outside areas as well, but I felt that this was a lot less crowded and better views as well. Onda by Scarpetta is a specialty dining restaurant. It is Italian, and if you do not have the dining package, it will be, at the time of our sailing, it was $40 per person to dine here. The sugarcane mojito bar is over there to the right, and it had a really, really fun menu of different flavors of mojitos. So if you like mojitos, I would definitely say check out their menu and branch out of it and try some new flavors. Palomar is Norwegian's first ever Mediterranean restaurant at sea, and this is another specialty dining restaurant. If you do not have the dining package, at the time of our sailing, the cover charge was $60 per person to eat here. Cagney's is their steakhouse, and it is at the far aft of the ship on deck 8. Again, it's another specialty dining venue. At the time of our sailing, if you did not have the dining package, it was going to be a $60 cover charge per person to eat here. And it was a very, very large venue. And in addition to the interior dining, they did have some outdoor seating at the waterfront as well. Okay, we are at the Social, which is on deck 6, and this was one of our favorite evening venues. They do comedians in here and they do evening events with like DJs and stuff like that, and they host some games and whatnot in there as well. And it was a really fun venue. Andy was a fantastic bartender that we met while we were there cruising. So if you happen to be on board and you see Andy, tell him that we say hello. And this is also going to be the bar. Don't quote me on it, but I believe this is the one that is open the latest on the ship. So if you are a late night person and looking to, I guess, close down the final activity that's on board for the day, this is probably where you will end up. And now to our favorite venue that we had on board. This is going to be the District Brew House. It's on deck 8, as far forward as you can go before cabins on the port side. And it was a fabulous spot. I personally didn't go here because of the beer, because I'm not a beer drinker, but they had a full bar and they had entertainment every night, and the bartenders are really what made this venue a must do and a must come back as many times as possible. Signe was on board. There he is right there. And he was our favorite crew member on board. He just made our cruise really, really special. All crew members in this photo right here were absolutely fantastic. And that will take us to the end of this tour. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and follow along so you don't miss out on any future content we have to share. We are always looking for new adventures, and once we have them, we'll upload any information we have possible to share with you. Thanks for watching.